Chidimma Adetshina has withdrawn from the Ms South Africa Pageant. This comes after the Patriotic Alliance instituted urgent legal action against Adetshina and Ms South Africa in order to prevent her from participating. This after Home Affairs found evidence that Adetshina's mother, who has Mozambican roots, may have committed fraud and identity theft in obtaining South African citizenship. Now, the department says it's considering legal action after it concludes investigations.
We stay with this particular story and speak to the Patriotic Alliance's Deputy President, Kenny Kunene. And of course, you've seen that this particular political party even, filing court papers to ensure that, Chidimma Adetshina does not get to participate in the Ms South Africa Pageant. And now what does it mean because she has withdrawn? So what does it mean then for their court action? And of course, there's even lots of focus, from their front because they've been quite vocal about this particular matter. This, of course, is still a preliminary, investigation by the Home Affairs Department. Investigations continue, and these findings, of course, as they say, that there's a prima facie, case here of a potential identity theft, and all focus now also turns towards that, particular individual whose identity may have been stolen. So I do understand that the Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance, Kenny Kunene, is on standby for us. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Firstly, let's get your reaction on the record on the statement by Home Affairs.
Thank you very much for having us. We are not entirely pleased by the statement of Home Affairs, but we are glad that they have uncovered fraud and identity theft that has happened in this regard. We have been clear that Home Affairs is rotten. A lot of people have got citizenship fraudulently. And we had said when we take over, we are going to mass deport all these illegal immigrants. We are going to check all the foreigners' status, and those who are naturalized, those who have ID documents, we are going to verify how they got those documents.
Now, when it comes in, of course, to this particular statement, you say that you do have some unhappiness about it, but they say that the investigations continue. And this for them is, an initial statement. They say that there's a prima facie case. They were asked by the organizers, of course, for an update here. I suppose more information could still then be coming.
To be honest with you, Home Affairs can proceed with those processes. Our position was, you can't have a Nigerian who is being celebrated by Nigerians wearing a belt that says Ms South Africa contestant. You can't have that. Being a Ms South Africa or participating there, it means you must go and promote the culture of South Africa. You must go and promote the different cultures of that you find in South Africa globally. How is a Nigerian going to talk about lobola? How is a Nigerian going to talk about our cultures in this country? So we have been consistent. After patriotic South Africans reached out to us and said, can you please intervene and help? This is not right, what is happening. And today we are vindicated because Home Affairs came out clearly that her identity, her being a South African, was done through fraudulent means, through identity theft. So we have indicated. And I think celebrities who have been supporting this woman, South Africans who put the rights of foreigners before the rights of South Africans, have their egg on their face now. She has now deprived a South African of being part of the Ms South Africa contestation after her withdrawal. By the way, her withdrawal does not come from her good heart. Earlier in the week, she said, no one will stop her from contesting Ms South Africa. Today, this morning at 9:29, our lawyers made contact with Stephanie, the CEO of Ms South Africa, who was very uncooperative. However, they were served with court papers, herself, and also the Nigerian lady through Ms South Africa the documents that said we are going to court to interdict their participation.
So, Mr. Kunene,
Home Affairs was also served with the same documents and the Director General. So she withdrew after realizing that the Patriotic Alliance is going to the courts to interdict her from participating. And she knew that we were going to win that case.
Mr. Kunene, pardon me for coming in there, because I'm sure you've even read the statement by the Home Affairs Department saying that it cannot be that she would have been aware of the fraud that is alleged to have been, been committed here, as the statement is alleging. So they say that she would not have known about that. And I was just in conversation right now with Build One South Africa leader, Musi Maiman, who was saying that because she wouldn't have known she was a child, we also need to be careful how we're handling this particular matter and not have South Africa be seen as one that is Afrophobic. How do you respond?
There's nothing to be careful about. Her father said he came here in 2010, which makes her a 14-year-old. So there are lies being peddled here. Yes, Home Affairs is saying she was a child. But in the videos, you can now see that she knows where her allegiance is. She was celebrating with the Nigerians. She was married to a Nigerian. So her heart, her soul is Nigerian. The fact that she didn't know, at the end of the day, a crime has been committed and it must be reversed.
So what happens now with your matter?
Whether she knew or not, whether she was a child or not, but a crime has been committed by her mother. Therefore, somebody's identity has been stolen and she's busy walking up and down with that identity.
What happens now with the matter that you filed in court, because you were hoping to have it heard?
Look, we are going to withdraw the matter because her withdrawal is exactly what we're asking the court to give us. So she realized that she was not going to succeed and we were going to win the case, or she was advised, and that's why she withdrew. So we will not proceed with the case because she has given us what we wanted the court to give us. But I must add to say, celebrities, South African celebrities, must stop involving themselves prematurely in matters that involve illegal immigrants or foreigners when they don't have the facts. Number two.
All right, that line there, we seem to have lost the Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance, Kenny Kunene, as you hear, that they've now withdrawn that particular matter that they had now filed with the court in order to get Chidimma Adetshina to pull out from the Ms South Africa Pageant. So we lost that line there to the Deputy President of the Patriotic. I do understand he's back now. Mr. Kunene, I do understand you're back. We lost you there for a second. You were saying the second point is?
The second point is the South African Human Rights Commission needs to refrain from threatening South Africans about taking action when South Africans voice their dismay and their disgust on the behavior of illegal immigrants.
Where do we draw the line, though?
South African Human Rights Commission sent out a statement saying it will take steps against those, in their words, those who were abusing this Nigerian woman. So this commission is forever defending illegal immigrants, is forever in defending foreigners. When does it defend South Africans? In fact, I suspect that there are Nigerians and Zimbabweans in this commission. The Minister of Home Affairs must send immigration officers to go and verify the identity of those who are members of this commission. Because everyone would then agree that it is a foreign human rights commission, not a South African Human Rights Commission, because it has called the Patriotic Alliance xenophobic. When we stand for South Africans, even in this instance, we stood for South Africans with patriotic South Africans, and they threatened with a press statement that they will take anyone to task who is busy abusing this woman. That was not abuse. People were saying you are a Nigerian. You can't represent our culture. How are you going to speak about our culture when you are Nigerian? There's no abuse there.
Mr. Kunene, thank you so much for your time. And of course, as you say, that this is a preliminary finding. Let's hear then, when the investigation is concluded, how your political party takes this matter forward. But thank you so much for speaking to us this afternoon. That was the Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance, Kenny Kunene.